What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the pod. Today we are reviewing Warsteiner Dunkel. It's a nice German brewski. Roasted barley malt. This is actually I've had this. I had this like 2 months ago, and it's one of my favorite beers I've ever had. Actually,
I actually haven't heard of this brewery.
I mean, it's a German brewery. I think it's imported. They're in all the stores around me, all the grocery stores around me.
Okay, because I see Weihenstofner is the like big imported German brewery. They're really famous. So
I don't see that. This is the one I see. So I guess maybe it just depends on the location.
Different areas. Probably.
Yeah, but I think it's really solid. I mean, I think this is the only Dunkel I've ever had actually. So I don't actually know if it's my favorite, but I really like Dunkels.
I bet this could be good.
Yeah, I like Dunkels. I like Hefeweizens. Pretty much anytime I go out to drink, I get a Hefeweizen if they have it. I was actually at this restaurant for someone's birthday like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I ordered a Hefeweizen, and it was flavored like cloves and cinnamon flavored Hefeweizen, and it was absolute piss. It was a 1 out of 10 on the piss scale.
Yeah.
It was 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 on the piss scale. It tasted like piss. I was so upset. Because one of my friends was there, and I was like, dude, Hefeweizens are delicious. You should get one. And he got it, and he's like, tastes like Christmas. And I was like, it's disgusting. This is the worst beer. I was so mad. Oh, I finished it. I
finished your beer.
Yeah, well, I sent you the Snapchat about it. Remember, I don't know, it was like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. And throughout the night, I sent you like 5 or 6 different beers, and I was rating them. I don't know if you remember. But that was one of the beers, and it was horrible. I was very disappointed.
Well, I like Hefeweizens, but since we I don't know, would have traveled like a few years ago, they haven't they don't taste the same to me. They tasted.
They're worse.
Not in like a reminiscent like they physically taste different here, and I don't think they're as good. I'm always disappointed.
It's probably. I mean, it probably has to do with they probably are maybe brewed here. I don't know if they actually import it's a German beer, but they might make them here.
Well, I think no, they do. They definitely make them here because I've had local ones. I think part of it too is because I'll drink it like straight out of the bottle or something, and I feel like you need like a nice glass.
Oh, you do. Yeah, you do.
Big foamy head, and it a lot of times a cool color to it, and so I'll just crack one open and start drinking it.
Yeah, they say that. I actually saw this on the TV show the other day. It was Bar Rescue. It was like Bar Rescue clips on YouTube actually, but he was saying that he was teaching the bartenders how to pour beers because there was a bar that was failing, and they're like, "Yeah, your bar's failing because you guys don't even know how to pour a beer." And so he showed them how to pour the beer, and it was you're supposed to pour it you know how most people will pour it on the side the entire way, and so there's no head basically. Am I cutting out?
Got shady for a second.
Yeah.
You're back.
I'm back. Okay. You know how you pour beer on the side and it almost has no head.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what they were doing basically in this bar, and you're supposed to pour it about 80% of the way, and then you finish it off. Yeah. So then you get head, and apparently the head is most of the flavor that you taste because it emits so much aroma. So the smell that you're smelling so much of the flavor through the head, but you're getting the taste of the beer through the taste. So if you don't have any head, then you're half the flavor's gone.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. So that's probably why. It's because we don't have any head. So there's no when you're doing that, there's no smell really. It's just all taste buds.
And it doesn't taste bad, but it's I have this memory of it being so fucking good.
Yeah.
And that's probably a huge reason.
Oh, I 100% agree. I think they definitely are worse than they were in Germany. Wasn't that beer that we were on the airplane and they took it away from you? Was that a Hefe?
Yeah.
We'll tell that story. Let's pop this open and then we can tell that story. You can tell that story. It's a short story. All right, popping the brewski. A little Warsteiner. Mine's warm because I was waiting for him for 85 minutes to start this pod. But then we also talked for a little bit. Yeah, the smell is just, it's like so malty. It's so like, it's like it smells like a meal. It smells just delicious.
It's thick, dude. It's like it's nothing but malt, which is damn.
I'm actually wondering if you're gonna like this because you said you didn't like what was that beer the other day that I was drinking that you said you didn't like?
That was was it a porter maybe?
No, I forgot the actual beer.
Oh, no, it was a stout. It was a stout.
It wasn't a stout.
The one we tried?
No, we didn't try it. It was I like just sent you a Snapchat of it.
It probably was a Dunkel. I have to be.
No, it wasn't a Dunkel. It wasn't. It doesn't matter. But it's like it's like a Dunkel. That beer was like a mild version of Dunkel, basically is how I think of it. So I don't know if you're actually like this, but I think we both are actually have like pretty warm beers too. Like mine's definitely not ice cold. I don't know if yours is even in the fridge.
these are it was, but these are okay warmer as opposed to like a light beer. Tastes like shit when it's warm.
That's true. That's true.
It's like not a bad beer to have.
Because it's like the whole point of it's the flavor, and I don't know the science behind it, but warm things tend to have more flavor.
Okay, so I like it a lot. I used to have other Dunkels I've had have been really carbonated, and this one is like almost creamy. It's like smooth.
But it's still like I'm still getting carbonation.
Are you? But you drink other Dunkels, right?
No, I think this is the only Dunkel I've ever had.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn. The Dunkels I've had before have been like really heavily carbonated.
Yeah.
Like you can taste it a lot, and this one's a lot less.
I wonder if you pour it out of the bottle if it becomes more like you get more carbonation per mouthful.
Probably, like if you get really into it, like
yeah,
it bubbles up and stuff. I mean, I prefer that though. I prefer it being less carbonated. It's not like it's. It almost reminds me of a stout. You know.
I think it's like it's like a stout, but with more carbonation, and I feel like less like dark.
Yeah.
To me, this is like creamy kind of vibe. It's like caramely, like it's just like the malt. Like the malt gives it like a caramely kind of taste. It's like caramely, malty, very malty, and then you also, and then you also get like a creamy kind of vibe. But it's still carbonated, I think. But it's not. There are some beers that are just extremely carbonated.
I feel like it's a pretty simple beer, to be honest. I like it, but it's like low carbonation, really malty, smooth, and like not super heavy.
To me, that's delicious.
No, it is. It's really good, but I feel like that almost completely describes it. There's no like crazy flavor, nothing I'm picking up.
Yeah, there's nothing. That's true. There's no like lemony or like sour can. There's no like extra note that just like takes it to a new dimension.
It's not even bitter at all, you know.
No,
it's just like a malty.
It's a Dunkel. It's probably like the most standard Dunkel you can get. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of these that are very similar, but
yeah, this is the best Dunkel I've had for sure.
Huh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I like it a lot.
What would you give it?
Yeah, so on the piss scale, 1 means it's tastes nothing like piss. 10 means it's exactly like piss. So 10 out of 10 on the piss scale means you're drinking urine. In case you guys forgot, I would call this a 3 out of 10. Actually, what did we give those? We gave Zombie Dust a 2 out of 10, right?
I think I did, yeah.
So I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 10. I think it's up there.
I was actually thinking 2 out of 10 as well.
Yeah.
It's like Dunkels aren't my favorite kind of beer, but there's almost like this upper echelon in each category. You know?
Yeah.
And compared to any other Dunkel I've had, this is like really good.
Yeah. I probably have had Dunkels when we were in Germany.
Yeah.
But I don't recall because I wasn't into beer at that time, which is unfortunate since we were in Germany. Like I wasn't like I just if it tasted good I liked it, and I didn't really care what kind of beer it was. If it just tasted good I liked it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like this beer, and I think it's super smooth, super tasty, rich flavor.
I wouldn't. The problem with Dunkels for me though is I don't know when I would have one, like ever.
Well, you drink a little different than most people.
Yeah, probably.
So I bought this in like a 12 pack, I think.
Yeah.
Of bottles, and I just would drink it with a meal, like with dinner, and it's like a perfect beer with dinner.
I wouldn't want this with dinner though.
Really?
Like what kind of dinner would you?
Honestly, like anything that's not a salad, like pasta, steak, even like Asian food.
Maybe like chili, or like
chili. But this tastes like I feel like that'd be the two of the same flavor basically.
Yeah. Like I think I would have it with chili or with something like really like saucy.
Really?
Like not just fried chicken, but like General's chicken or something with like this like thick sauce. Maybe I'm really stretching there. Because
really?
I would have this for like definitely I would not have this with a steak. I'd be mad about it.
You'd have an IPA with the steak though.
Yeah.
To me, it's the same thing, just different category.
Okay.
Like the flavors are different, obviously, but like I feel like you drink IPAs in the same context as you would this.
Oh, okay.
Like I know the flavors are different, so you'd eat it with different meals or whatever the professionals would say.
Yeah.
But like they're both thick, like rich flavors. They're both very, very like dense kind of beers.
Yeah.
So I would say they're very similar. You'd utilize them in similar contexts, but your context is also just like, can I drink a 6-rack? But you still gave it a 2 though, so that means you really like it.
It's really good. I can't imagine when I would drink it.
What about Hefeweizens?
Oh, I'd have those anywhere.
Really?
For lunch,
But they're like, I mean, they're decently similar.
Well, no, because like Hefes for me, I would never drink a Hefe to get drunk. Like I wouldn't have more than 2 ever.
That's true. I don't really drink to get drunk very often.
Yeah.
So that's maybe the difference.
Like if I'm going to get lunch with friends or something, I'm absolutely gonna get a Hefe.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just personally get this, but like I wouldn't
Fair
get.
enough.
Yeah, Hefe's up top for like lunch, dinner, beer for me.
Hefes are one of my favorite. Hefe might be my favorite category of brewski. I love German beers, and I love Dutch beers. Is that what it is? What's the beer that we had for that big bottle, the big boy?
That was.
What's it called? I can't remember for some reason.
That was Dutch. Right?
Is it Dutch?
I believe it was Dutch.
Or is it Belgium? It's Belgian beer. Which that's Dutch, but
yeah, it was Belgium.
Yeah, so Belgian ales. I like Belgian ales. I like that whole side of Europe.
That one was super dry.
Oh, that was a dry beer.
We should have reviewed that. That was like
I know, that was unfortunate. What was it? Was it like 11% or something? 12%?
I think it was 12%.
Yeah, the 12%. So we were gonna review the beer. I got him like this. It's like a big champagne bottle. It's a 1.5 liter bottle of beer. We're gonna review it, but it just didn't happen because of the situation we were in. But it was fun. It was a good beer. It was very, very odd. It was like a very unique flavor of a beer.
It would dry your mouth out.
Oh yeah, it tasted like it was like it didn't taste like a Cabernet, but the mouthfeel was like a Cabernet kind of. Like it was like if a Cabernet was a beer. That's how I think. That's how I thought of it. I thought it was tasty. But yeah, so we're gonna go with the 2 out of 10 for both of us on the Dunkel Warsteiner. Hopefully I can grab one of these when I'm in Germany in a few months.
We should compile a list at some point of the number and the beers that we've done.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, I can make a spreadsheet or something, or you can make a spreadsheet since I do all the other work.
Yeah, I'll make it. I just want to have a compilation of like the upper echelon, like the 2s and the 1s. You gotta have.
Yeah, I think right now our top beers are Gumball Head, Alpha King, Zombie Dust, and this.
Those are like the all-time.
Yeah, but I think we actually might have reviewed Gumball Head and Zombie King worse than we should have. Just because it was like the first, I think it was the first 2 beers, our first 3, 2 of the first 3 beers we did.
Well, yeah, and you don't want to give too high of a rating on like second ever beer review.
So, so we might, it's like we rated a 1, and then all of a sudden it's the best beer we ever have through any podcast. Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, 2 out of 10, that's a good beer.
All right, what do we?
I wanted to talk about the UFC just like coming up this weekend. Pretty exciting.
Do you have the card
Yeah, I do.
up?
Skunk. Yeah, so we'll start with the early prelims, and you might have to see the faces to so you might have to pull it up.
Yeah.
But
I think I'll pull it up, but I think I know a good amount of them.
so the I don't know either of the people in the first early prelim, but the prelim after that you got Zalgas Zumagulov. You stretching over there? I got Zalgas Zumagulov, and he's a freaking tank.
You actually know about that guy?
Yeah, I've seen him fight a few times. I mean, his record's not that great, but I think he's actually, let me see.
Russia?
Yeah, he lost his last fight, but it was to another freaking beast. But he's actually lost the last two fights. I don't know. He's a really good fighter though, and both those fights came to decision, so he might have got screwed a little bit.
Okay.
But he is a good fighter, and so that should be an interesting fight to watch. If I end up watching that, I'd have to start watching fights at like 3:00, which is pretty early tomorrow. And I got a test tomorrow. Amari Akhmedov. I've seen this guy once. He's literally like a bowling ball. He just fought recently.
A bowling ball?
Oh, he didn't. I guess not. It was January he fought. But he's just like a short, just freaking tank. He's like Paulo Costa if Paulo Costa was 5 foot.
Oh, just like a tiny.
Yeah, he's like so jacked.
Like it, yeah.
And then I haven't Jessica I've seen fight, but from what I've seen, she's lost quite a lot. Like she's kind of like one of those people that, in my opinion, no offense to her, but because the women's divisions are so like pretty new in comparison to the men's divisions, like she's up there because there just isn't as much depth yet. Which is, I mean, not trying to. Yeah, she's a great fighter for now, but I don't see her as like a super talent or anything like that.
I mean, yeah. Neither of them have. I've heard the name Jessica I actually a few times. Haven't like seen her.
Yeah, she's fought Valentina a couple of fights ago. Yeah, she's 15-9, and then I've never seen Jennifer Maia fight. I didn't know if it was Damian Maia's wife, but I don't think it is. I'm not sure though. Okay, so and then go to the prelim card. I'm super hyped about these fights. The first one I don't know either of these people, but they both have really good records, 14-2 and 15-2, so that should be a good fight. And this fight I'm super excited about, the Ryan Hall fight. Yeah. He hasn't fought in like 2 years. He's a super good jiu-jitsu athlete, which is why he's exciting to watch. And then he's fighting a guy who's 10-0, and yeah, that should just be a super exciting fight. The guy he's fighting against has had a bunch of submissions. He thinks he's better than Ryan Hall at grappling, apparently. So
it'd be fun if they just turn it almost into a grappling.
Yeah. It'd be fun for us, not for the fans, but that's fine with me.
Well, Ryan Hall is really known specifically for like leg locks and heel hooks.
Yeah.
Like lesser
Imanari rolls and stuff, just diving into people's legs.
Yeah, so if it goes his way, it'll look like he's doing like the dumbest shit you've ever seen. And then the person just taps because he'll get their ankle and like twist it off.
Yeah.
Essentially. So that'll be really fun.
Oh, that'll be a blast to watch, at least for us jiu-jitsu guys. Nico Price and Michael Pierre, they're both super exciting fighters. They just get after it. Something that's really funny about this fight is that they both have 2 no contests, which is super rare. And they have 2 of them. So that's kind of funny.
They both fight like they have like ADHD or something.
Yeah, they just charge. They're just like
calm down. But
it's so fun. It's really, I mean, obviously it's super exciting. That might be the fight of the night, actually.
No, if it goes the whole way, it's just gonna be
just a brawl.
Dang.
Just 2 guys just going ham. And then Carlos Condit, obviously a veteran of the sport. That should be super hype. I love watching him fight, but I don't know Max Griffin.
He's got 47 fights.
Yeah, and he's fun.
Not in a way that's all in the UFC.
He has 45
records.
45.
Yeah, 45. My bad. 45.
Yeah, but he no, I don't think they're on the UFC or even close to on the UFC, but a lot of them are. He's been in the UFC basically since it was like back when there was sponsors on the shorts.
Oh yeah,
he's been in the UFC for like 15 years probably. Yeah. But he's fun to watch, but I don't know. He's kind of he's won a couple fights recently, but he's probably at the end of his career. Like
age just catches up to
yeah,
you.
he's 37.
I'm never like banking on him to win just because this dude's been around so long.
Yeah, I don't know who Max Griffin is, so I would bet money on Carlos if I had to. But that's only because I don't know who Max Griffin is, which means I probably should look into him.
I shouldn't bet on that.
Yeah. He just gets slapped. And then in the main card, you got Shane, Sean O'Malley versus this Chris guy who Sean O'Malley was supposed to fight ended up dropping out of his fight because he got hurt. So this Chris Matinho, he this is his first UFC fight. So
I'm actually not excited for that fight.
Oh, I mean, it'd be cool to see Sean knock someone out, but yeah, it's not like an exciting fight, really.
Well, I think the only thing I would be excited for actually is if Sean loses. Like,
oh yeah, I mean that'd be crazy.
That'd be wild because they won't give him anyone in the top 15, and of course he was supposed to have someone better, and the guy dropped or whatever.
Yeah.
But they could have filled in, most likely, someone who is better in his division.
I don't think so. Like most people aren't trying to, especially people like I would not fight down on a 10-day notice.
Short notice.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like like if I'm ranked 10, I'm like I'll fight an unranked fighter that's actually a good fighter on 10 days notice, and then have to cut a bunch of weight in 10 days and like be super tired and be super wrecked.
Just for
and for no benefit except for money.
But I mean, but the problem is at this point they've given Sean O'Malley so many weak fighters that like I genuinely don't know if he's like good.
He's clearly good, but yeah, you can't tell if he's like going to be a top 5 fighter. Well, you just don't know.
You've never seen him in a tough fight.
Well, every UFC fighter is a good fighter.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's so much that comes down.
I know what you're saying. Can
they go the distance, or if they're getting their ass kicked, like do they have almost like the willpower,
to
like turn it around? His fights have been so like clean.
Yeah.
And on short.
I think that just shows how good he is, though. Just being honest.
Well, it shows that he has. I mean, he's a really good kickboxer. He's got striking, but it's like.
What happens when it gets dirty? You don't know.
What happens? You've never seen him like clinch. You've never really seen him on the ground.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he fought Chito Vera, and Chito Vera's ranked now, I believe.
Yeah, he is.
But he lost to him, and then he fought Eddie Wineland, who I believe at one point was a ranked fighter, but he's like kind of at the end of his career.
Old guy now.
Yeah,
he used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, be better. And
he beat him. He knocked that was one of the highlight knockouts of the year, probably last year.
Well, what Sean did that I thought was really goofy. I mean, it makes sense, but his last fight, he almost knocked the guy out, and he tried to like walk off.
Yeah.
The ref didn't call the fight.
Yeah.
And Sean's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then he couldn't knock him out for like 2 more rounds. And I heard him basically explaining this at some point, and he's like, it's almost like a marketing thing. He's like, well, I don't fight that often, and so I need to make sure that I finish my fights with like a highlight reel.
Yeah, yeah.
So if he gets a really clean shot on someone and the ref doesn't stop the fight, he won't just like clobber him until it's stopped.
I think
I got to do it over again to get that off KO.
Yeah.
And that's like. It's a good mindset to like get popular or have people like talk about you.
And he's one of the most popular people in the UFC.
And he's very popular, so that's why I said like he's doing that right. But that's also like
it's stupid.
Really, really dumb mindset. To me, it just ties in with not having competition that's up to par with him.
I agree. No, I think I listen to his podcast. Yeah. And he is very cocky, but it's like half joking, half serious.
Yeah.
Like how he says he's undefeated. But he said that. He basically said that because he feels like he's outclassing these people so much, he doesn't feel in danger. Like he feels like he's so safe in there that he can do whatever he wants. So he's like, I might as well get that all-star knockout finish, like knockout of the year kind of thing. Then
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I don't agree with it, but I mean that's a smart way to build your career.
It almost makes him look inexperienced in a way because then he's gonna get like the real fight, and it's like. No, dude, you can't like look for something pretty,
Wait, my theory is if the fight's like pretty brutal,
yeah.
Like if they're starting to swing and he's getting hit and stuff, I think that he'll just say, "Okay, I'm gonna finish this guy any way I can." And I think especially if he's fighting like a ranked opponent. But right now he's fighting like this guy's his first UFC fight, which doesn't mean he's a bad fighter. It just means like his first UFC fight, you know? Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's unfounded, but I guess my conclusion on that is when that happens, when it's like a brawl, I feel like he could totally just crumple because he hasn't had to do it before.
Because his mindset,
new in that way. So
yeah, and that's actually I think Rogan and DC on his last fight when they were commentating, they were like critiquing him on that. They were like saying like that's like really stupid, basically.
Because if you don't take the fight serious, you won't know what a serious fight is.
Yeah, like you got to take your win. Like you never know what can happen. Even if you're a way better fighter, you could still get clipped. You know.
Yeah.
Like if you're 20 times better than someone, you could still like they can get a lucky just.
Especially if you're refusing to finish the fight.
Yeah.
You know? It's like that's.
But he ended up getting a knockout in that fight, and it was pretty good knockout.
It looked really fucking cool.
Yeah.
It was replayed a bunch of times.
And it looked like it hurt a lot for Almeida. Irene versus Yana. I don't know either of these fighters. The women's bantamweight fight.
Me neither. I'm surprised that's on the main, just because this is such a big fight.
They might. I think they are trying. It seems like every main card they throw at least one women's fight on there.
Oh, they always do, but there are a lot of pretty semi-well-known.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, the well-known fighters, in my opinion, are like the champs, and that's basically it.
Well, probably the champs or the contenders who are about to fight the champs.
Yeah.
So I guess.
But I think this is probably just a way to get the names out there.
Yeah, and that's how you get more of them known, I suppose. Yeah, so that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Fucking Greg Hardy versus
Tai Tuivasa.
I hate Greg Hardy. I'm Greg Hardy.
He's a funny guy. Very, very, very funny guy.
What do you mean? Funny guy?
Well, he just is talking so much shit, and he's talking like I don't know. He just cracks me up in his interviews.
Well, I got into this a while ago, and then I saw it was controversial. It's not 100%, but did you know he was in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
And he got kicked out because he was allegedly beating his wife, domestic abuse, criminal stuff is why.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, that's why he got kicked out, was because of domestic abuse and criminal activity. And then he had some interview where I don't know. I got deep on the internet about this one day where he's like, oh, or it was his girlfriend. He's like, my girlfriend was just making that up to get back at me because that's what people will do with celebrities. And I guess the evidence isn't 100%, but I looked at it enough and saw enough opinions of people who knew the situation. I was like, oh, that guy's a fucking asshole.
Oh, I believe that for sure.
You see how big he is and just his demeanor and everything. He basically beat the shit out of his girlfriend.
Yeah. And
then the UFC took him, and he went to the UFC. So it's I don't know. I can't be rooting for that guy.
I'm not rooting for him.
Yeah,
but
I definitely know who he is, and he fights pretty often. But yeah, he's not super chill.
No, he's not chill at all. Even in his interviews, he's not chill. Yeah, but I do think that he's he's 32 and he just recently started fighting.
Yeah.
But he's been active recently because of that. I don't think the UFC shouldn't take him though because of that, because of the allegations. It's not the UFC's responsibility really, in my opinion.
Oh well. To be clear, it wasn't allegations. It was a conviction. It's on his record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it wasn't just allegations. He was found guilty.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. If he was banned or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you can take the side and be like, well, the law determined the punishment and whatever that is, he has so served it. I don't know.
That's kind of how I feel, to be honest. I mean, he's a scumbag. He is. I mean, that's straight up scumbag. But
it's a sliding lever. It's not the UFC's job to police. Their business is who can fight good.
Yeah, they don't even police who drug tests. USADA does, or the Nevada State or the athletic commissions. So the UFC doesn't even do that. So the UFC doesn't. I don't even know if they can be involved in any punishments, but they could not sign him if they didn't want to.
I guess, and I mean, this is all fairly controversial. what I would be a lot more hard-headed about, because that was before he was ever affiliated with them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, you can say something about them taking him on, but like if right now he like beat the shit out of his girlfriend again or something, I do think they should probably.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Release him because he is representing them now.
I agree with that. I think they actually have done that to fighters before. Yeah. And I agree with that.
So it's like he wasn't affiliated with them. Now he is, and now they probably are a lot more concerned.
Oh yeah, they care a lot about their name.
He's a better person. Who knows?
People can change.
Yeah, so
it's possible.
That's that, and then Gilbert Burns and Stephen Thompson.
That fight should be epic.
Pumped for that one. I think Gilbert Burns is gonna win. I like them both.
I mean, like, I love Stephen Thompson. He's one of my favorite fighters.
So cool. Yeah.
But I just don't see how he wins this. Just straight up. Like, Gilbert Burns almost won the title fight.
Yeah.
Like, he got knocked out, but he almost knocked out Usman.
Usman bad.
Like, a few times. They both got rocked a few times in that fight.
Yeah.
And it wasn't one-sided. It just, like, Usman finished it and Gilbert couldn't, basically.
Yeah.
And Gilbert's striking is good. It's not to Stephen Thompson's level, obviously. He's a freaking one of the best jiu-jitsu athletes ever. Not really, but he's a world champ in jiu-jitsu.
He's very decorated.
He's very, yeah.
I think almost like Adesanya fights, it comes down to can he
stop the takedown
and not get taken down? Because if it stands up the whole time, Stephen Thompson can probably, he's so good. He can.
Yeah, it's actually. I mean, it's very possible that he won't get taken down either. Like, think about how many people he's fought. I don't even think he's actually been. He fought Usman, right? Oh no, he fought who's the guy who just lost 4 in a row? That was the champ. Who's fighting Jake Paul?
Tyron.
Yeah, Woodley. I think he fought Woodley, and Woodley didn't take him down, to my knowledge, for the title.
Woodley did lose though, or Woodley won.
Yeah, Woodley won. Yeah.
I don't know if he took him down or
not. But I mean, wasn't Woodley known for his wrestling and his ground and pound and stuff?
Yeah, he was.
So I mean, that's like, to me, that says something, right? It should be a good fight. It should be a really good fight.
For sure. He has to have good defense in order to be a striker.
Yeah.
You have to have defense there. So I'll be watching that one. Whoever wins, I'm kind of sad. Like, whoever wins, I'm happy for, but then I feel bad for them.
Yeah, I agree with that. They're both just great dudes, and I want both of them to do really well in the UFC. I hope Stephen Thompson wins though, and the reason why is because he's 37, I believe, and this is if he wins this, he'll probably fight for the title.
Yeah,
and there's a huge line right now for the title, but it's like
if he loses too, he won't get a title shot before he retires.
Yeah, it's very unlikely.
Like, impossible.
Yeah.
But Burns at the same time is, I think, like way towards the top of the division, of course.
Yeah, he's like 3rd, I think.
If Burns goes on a 2-loss streak, he won't get a title shot for like 2 years.
But he's 32.
He's got time.
And it really depends, because like, it depends who wins the next title shot. Kind of. It depends on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because if Thompson wins the title, there's a whole thing that happens.
Because it's like, oh, it's a rematch, and then if Burns beats one of the contenders, then it's like, okay, Burns is next.
He's back.
You can lose 2 and still be fine, but Thompson can't lose, especially because he's fighting up. Like, Thompson's like 6th or 7th, I think, in the rankings. I'm gonna look actually.
I think Thompson is 5 or 4 now.
Oh, okay.
And Burns is probably 2.
Okay. Well, yeah, because I know that he was saying like this is the first offer that he's gotten fighting up in like a while.
Yeah.
In like a few fights. Like they've been making him fight people that are lower ranked than him for like quite a while.
Yeah.
For quite a few fights. But yeah, actually Thompson's 38.
Yeah, he's old, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, he's getting up there. I hope he wins though. I hope he wins just because of that. Because it's his last chance.
38 years old fighting the top competition.
Yeah, he's sick too. He's super sick. And his style is very good because it allows him to like protect his brain so he can keep fighting. Yeah. And then of course the main event. Freaking Schlapper.
McGregor. I'm rooting for Poirier, of course. I do think he's gonna win. But it's not like
it's not clear cut.
Where you know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's gonna be close.
I mean, yeah, Conor landed some bombs last fight. He just his strategy was just kind of like off a bit. Allegedly, he said he was allegedly like training to fight Pacquiao. So he was just boxing.
He's trying to box, which, and I kind of,
I honestly kind of believe him.
It just annoys me. It was at the same bite clip. Did you see him saying, he's like, the reason I lost is because I pitied Dustin. He's like, I didn't want to beat him too bad, so I was working on my boxing. He's like, he's so far below me that I thought I could only box him.
Yeah.
Dude, he knocked you out pretty bad.
Yeah.
In a boxing fight.
Yeah.
Like, they were just like.
Yeah, once that leg got taken out, he was screwed. But I actually think this fight Conor wins. I'm not gonna lie.
You do think so?
Yeah, I think Conor's a better fighter. I think he's more technical. I think he's more skilled. I think that he was going to that fight just kind of like thinking he was gonna win.
Losing's a great reality check.
Yeah.
It can.
And it's like, if you lose to Khabib, it's like, okay, everyone loses to Khabib. If you lose to Mayweather, it's like, okay, everyone loses to Mayweather.
You lose to Poirier.
But you lose to Poirier, and you're like, oh, like my career's.
Some interviewer asked him. I haven't been able to find the actual.
I saw that. I think.
Was it the one that said you've only had one win since Obama's been president?
Yeah. Since the Obama administration, you've had one win, and he was like, "Shut up, you rat." He was just,
that dude fucking roasted.
I will say it though, like in the press conferences, Conor was trying to be old Conor, like the trash talky, like Irishman. Yeah. And it was weak. I watched the whole conference.
Well, it's dorky.
Huh?
It's like dorky. It's like lame. I've been a Conor hater forever, and I actually hate him less now. But it's because I watch Twitter, social media, everyone's reaction to everything, and for so long, people were dead serious. Like, Conor's the best there ever was. He can't lose to anyone. Like whatever.
Conor is probably one of the greatest of all time.
No.
Back in his day, yeah. Back when he was double champ, first double champ of all time, first person to win 2 titles. Yeah.
The people he has wins over is not that impressive. Eddie Alvarez.
He beat Jose Aldo, hadn't lost for 10 years.
And Jose Aldo are the only big names.
Yeah, two title fights.
Although it was not on a 10-year win streak.
Yes, he was.
Are you sure?
Yes.
He's only 26 right now?
No, he's 36.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Check Aldo's age. It's insane. Everyone thinks he's really old. Aldo is not. He's like.
He was on the longest win streak in, I believe, in UFC history.
No, because John Jones is on a 12-year and Silva was on a 9-year.
Maybe he's 34. You turd.
Oh yeah, 34. So he lost when he was 29, literally.
He would. Let me see.
And he's not.
It might have not been in the. So he. Oh yeah. So 2006 until 2014, he didn't lose. So I apologize. It was 8.5 years.
I mean, that's actually really long, but he's still. I mean, look at, and you can say whatever. You can say oh, Conor.
He lost one fight. He lost one fight in 10 years.
But you can. I mean, you can totally say, oh, Conor changed him or ruined him or whatever. You know how people like Cerrone or Anderson Silva, how once they slip hard. They don't come back.
Yeah.
He's only since McGregor. He's had win, loss, win, loss.
Yeah, since he fought McGregor, he sucked. But look at the people he beat. Look at the people he beat. He beat freaking Korean Zombie, Frankie Edgar, Chad Mendes twice. He beat Uriah Faber. He beat Cub Swanson. All title fights.
You're crazy. I mean, I think Jose Aldo's great. That's why I said besides Jose Aldo, and I don't even think Eddie Alvarez is that impressive. But besides those two,
well, at the time Eddie was. That's the thing. It's at the time. That's why I was now. Yeah, but obviously,
his resume is not wild. It's not.
Conor's resume is not wild. I agree.
It's similar, and I mean it's really cool. It's really good work and stuff. Jorge Masvidal has the 5-second flying knee knockout.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think it's the same.
That was crazy, but that doesn't cement him as even that good. That's you landed a shot.
Yeah.
McGregor beat Aldo in 17 with one punch.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different when you beat Ben Askren. It's different.
That doesn't show that if he slipped that one punch or something.
Yeah.
That could have been a 5-round fight. That could have been a decision loss. Who knows?
No, you're right. He could have lost the fight, but he didn't.
To me, it's almost less impressive because it's one punch. It's a lot cooler but it doesn't actually. That doesn't show you're like a crazy goat type of, like what makes you crazy good is winning the 4 or 5 round fights that are really fucking tough.
Yeah, I mean, well, the who's the other title fight that he won?
Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, Eddie Alvarez. That fight was like 3-4 rounds, and he just smoked him.
He just hard on that.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. He's not. I shouldn't have said go. I don't think I said go. But
one of the best of all time.
Yeah, I think he is one of the best of all time.
Are you putting that with like you don't need to be too
like top 10? I'd say top 10 ever. Like he's up there. To me, he's up there with. I mean, I'm not gonna say like the ranking, but like same. You could talk about him with the likes of DC, with likes of. I mean, it's hard to find people that compare to him in terms of legacy.
I wouldn't say top 10. To me. At first, I was like, maybe he's close. If you were to say top 20, I would say easily.
Oh, he's easily top 20.
Easily. But top 10, like, again, I'm not going to rank him. But I would say, I think Poirier is better. I mean, you look at the resume, the activity, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think Habib, Jones.
Oh, Habib is way better, yeah.
Habib, Jones, Silva, DC, Nunes. I mean.
Yeah, Nunes is sick.
And I think Holloway personally, but I'm not gonna like keep.
Well, those are also all relatively active fighters. I think the reason why he's up there is only because I think you have to consider how big he's made the sport. Like he's one of the reasons why the UFC is famous. Like he's one of the reasons why it's so big.
Say one of the most remembered or one of the most famous or something, he'd be like number one.
And then also the first double champ, which is a huge deal.
Huge deal.
Regardless of his resume, it's like, dude, like just getting out of the comfort zone and becoming the first double champ and just like that's crazy.
Oh well, okay. I guess if you're factoring those things.
Yeah, of course you have to.
Okay, for sure.
If you're talking about like long streets beating savages, no, he's not. Like GSP is obviously way better.
Talking about fighting, like nothing except like fighting ability.
Well, he's also he starched a lot of his opponents too, so he didn't really have brawls, which could mean he's a better fighter. Like Dustin Poirier, all of his fights are brawls. So is he really that good, or is he just really tough? It's hard to say. Yeah, and that.
Well, so I mean that is kind of what I was saying. Is I was a huge hater on McGregor because even if maybe they were right for so long, people thought he was like so
unbeatable or something. Yeah.
And he's doing the trash talk, and so like I would tell my parents, it doesn't matter who. I'd say the word UFC, and they're like, "Oh, Conor McGregor."
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. I'm like, there's people that fight more that are more interesting, like whatever.
Yeah.
But at this point, he's lost like a lot recently.
He really hasn't. So like they make it sound like he's lost a ton, but if you actually look at it,
his last 6 in the UFC.
Yeah, that's not really losing that much. I feel, in my opinion, that's not like.
Well,
like people lose 4 in a row, you know.
Not crazy, but it is like, it's enough for people to chill out on, if you know what I mean. It's enough for people to like become normal, and then he starts trash talking, and I always like, I think that's kind of lame. It grew the sport. It's chill, whatever. But now he's trash talking, and people are like, "This dude's kind of a clown." Like the last fight with
his trash talk also sucks now.
It's garbage. He's like bad. And the last fight with the same dude, he's hugging him and like giving him donations and like drinking his hot sauce and shit. And now he's like,
just chugging.
Oh, fuck your wife. It's like
that's not what you said, but
but it's like
yeah, I know.
Talking about
it is.
It's actually
it's kind of cringy. I agree.
It's like he's just like a stage.
I got this right here. So we're going McGregor first round knock. I got it as a gift like 3 years ago. First round knockout McGregor.
30 seconds.
I had his head tilted because of what Khabib did to him, where he just cranked his neck.
Yeah. Tight jaw now.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think that just what he's done to the sport, he's got to be considered one of the top 10 athletes ever. And he's the first double champ, which started a whole era of double champs.
He's done, I agree and stuff. I'm hating on him less now. Just I felt like obligated to be, because people would like fanboy over him. It was like really weird to me.
Yeah.
Now it's like he's really good. Maybe he'll win. I'm not rooting for him, and I don't think he will.
You don't think he'll win?
No, this is like the most standard. Like I think every person ever has analyzed it this way, but it's like He's really explosive first round, right?
Yeah, if it's past 2 rounds, he loses.
But that's his style, which kind of comes back to, does that make you the GOAT, or does that make you explosive? He could totally get a first round knockout. If it goes the whole fight, it's like, that dude is not that great on the ground. He's not that great at with the heart, really, with just keeping the fight up.
Well, I mean, but the Diaz fights, that's also maybe controversial. The second Diaz fight went all 5 rounds, just a complete brawl, and he won.
Yeah, but I love Diaz.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
No, you're right. Yeah, but I'm saying Diaz is the best brawler. Diaz is the best brawler though. But yeah, he's lost 20 fights or something. Or he's lost 13. I'm looking at it. He lost 13.
He's really not a crazy high level, and so that was at the time too. People were like, oh, he went the distance with Diaz. I'm like, yeah, look at that dude's record. But we will see. I'll be excited for it. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it out somewhere or have a little viewing party or something.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna watch the early prelims. Well, the prelims and the main card. I'm not sure about the early prelims.
Yeah, I'll watch the earlies. Probably. Going to my mom's to watch it.
Oh, that'll be fun.
It's gonna be a bunch of us watching it. Good old time. Yeah, that should be a fun fight though.
Yeah.
And just to stamp the trilogy, I think that Conor has a really good chance of winning, only because Poirier got caught with punches early on last time.
And if it was just a little more power, torque, or something, that could have been a knockout.
Yeah, and if you're looking at, they're both 32, so technically they're both in their primes right now. So maybe Conor has better cardio. We don't really know. It's hard to tell.
Well, but too, I'm not sure if we may have done this exact same thing before Poirier fought him last time. And the last time we were talking about there's a bit of a mental factor there because McGregor knocked him out. Where it can be hard to face the guy who knocked you out. That's totally erased.
Oh yeah, it's erased for sure. There's no mental games. There's no mental right now. Poirier is completely zenned out. I think Poirier has a good chance. I think they both have a good chance of winning.
Well, yeah.
I would love to see Conor go for a takedown and submit his ass, because Conor does train with a world champion jiu-jitsu every day, and he.
Not Dylan Dennis.
Yeah, Dylan Dennis.
That guy sucks.
He's actually pretty good at jiu-jitsu. He does suck though. He does. I don't like him.
It's a meme that he sucks.
Yeah.
He's had a torn knee for 2 years or something. If you look at
but he is a black belt too, I believe, in jiu-jitsu. But so is Poirier. They're both black belts.
Damn, and Poirier's been getting a ton of knockouts. Poirier knocked out Pettis, knocked out Gaethje, knocked out Alvarez. These are all his last fights. He beat Holloway for the second time, maybe.
Yeah.
Habib got his ass, but then he beat Hooker and then he knocked out McGregor.
Yeah.
Just because you're talking about their age, 32 when at their peak.
Yeah. He's saucy, but if you could still get clipped, you could still. McGregor he has a puncher's chance.
I don't think the same because Poirier's been beating better and better and better people.
Yeah.
And McGregor did that 5 years ago.
That's true. No, you're right. Yeah. McGregor has peaked already, for sure.
Yeah, and Poirier, it's if Poirier knocks him out again, if he does, he gets a title fight.
Yeah.
And then it's undisputed. Poirier.
Oh, Poirier could be one of the GOATs of all time in that division.
Yeah, if he keeps up what he's doing, he's on the road. He's on the road to becoming.
On paper, Poirier has a way higher chance of winning.
Yeah.
But in the heart.
But
I would like to see Conor win, only because it's good for the sport. And I like what happened. I like what's good for the sport a lot of times.
I don't think it would be good for the sport, actually.
It would grow because Conor would get a title shot. So there's another huge fight.
Shot, but if we're talking more than the next year for real,
yeah,
McGregor isn't an active fighter. He's not gonna keep.
Poirier won't be either. I don't think. I could be wrong though. I think Poirier is getting close to the end of his career.
Oh, how come?
He just keeps talking about how he doesn't like fighting anymore. He's not passionate about it. He's basically just doing it for money. Yeah.
He actually has said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But almost in this, I don't know.
I don't mean good for the sport as in long-term fighting ability. I just mean anytime there's a lot of eyes on a card, there's more fans long term.
Well, but in a way, my take, I guess, is say McGregor wins and gets a knockout. That's what UFC has been for the past 7 years or something. I feel like people who are fans because of McGregor are already fans because of McGregor. If McGregor gets knocked out by like a new guy twice in a row, Poirier is going to be like a superstar. He's
That's
not
true.
Be as flashy.
That's true.
Then you get new fans because they're like, "Yo, Dustin Poirier," and I think over time you get people like that. You get more than one big face.
And I like Poirier, but I agree with you, but I don't think that Poirier is like interesting, like as a person.
No, he's not, because if you don't care about fighting, like he's interesting in the realm of MMA.
Like Khabib's not interesting either.
Person, not.
But Khabib says, "I'm gonna smash him," but Khabib still says things like, "I'm gonna smash him." Do you really think this guy's gonna do anything to me? Look at him. It's like he's not even trash talk. He's just like, I'm so much better than everyone.
Your rapping is 0. Your wrestling is 0.
Yeah. You have no wrestling. What are you gonna do if I get my hands on you? Come on. What are you gonna do if I get my hands on you?
Come on, guys. Smash your boy.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Big day.
It's a good. Yeah. I mean, either way, it's a good outcome. That'd be fun to watch.
It is a win. I do think it's a win-win, unless there's no way it's gonna be a boring fight. I was gonna say unless they're both like point fighting and like, but they won't be. They just won't be.
No, I don't think Poirier's had a boring fight in like a decade.
For real. Yeah. Have you seen the pictures of him when he was fat?
Yeah, with his wife.
He used to be a big.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Did you hear Connor in the press conference called him? He said his wife's name's Jolie, and he's like, "You're Jolie's wife."
I heard him say that. What does that even mean, though?
He was saying that Dustin's the wife in the relationship. He was calling Dustin the wife. No, it just said it. He was just like, "You're Jolie's wife, and she's your husband." He's just basically calling him a bitch, I guess. I don't know. It was pretty funny. But it was terrible. It wasn't a good insult. It wasn't like, it was just like, and Dustin was like, "Dude, your trash talk used to be a lot better," because it was so bad.
I saw that Dustin just by being chill. He's kind of
yeah.
What are you saying?
The interviewers were like, "Connor, do you respect like I know that you guys have beef or whatever, and you guys don't have a good fight, but do you at least respect what Dustin's done with his career?" And he's like, "Fuck Dustin Poirier." And then the interviewer's like, "Dustin, same question to you." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I respect Connor. Like he's had a really good career. He's double champ. He's really good. Like he's definitely going Hall of Fame. He's a great fighter." And then everyone's like, "Yeah." and then Connor's sitting there like with his glasses, like with his shades on.
You know, he's thinking like, "What's going on here?" He's like, "This isn't how I imagined it."
And he's like, "Damn, they're rooting for Dustin instead of me." I feel like honestly after I watched that, I told Sav, I was like, "I think Dustin's gonna win." So I told her.
Yeah, dude.
Because I was like, Connor's just like, I feel like Connor's in his own head at this point. He's like,
when mental warfare isn't there,
yeah.
And then Connor, like, dude, he's literally a dad, and he's rich, and he's coming back. He's like, "I'm crazy, Connor."
Yeah.
He's like, running around the stage doing like weird shit, and everyone's just watching him, and they're like, "Connor, what are you doing?"
It's also funny to see like the excuses that he has about losing. Because he like for example, he was like, "Yeah, like last camp I had my family, so like on rest days I was like hanging out with my family instead of actually resting," and like making those kind of excuses. And it's like, dude, you didn't lose because you were tired. Like you didn't lose because you're out of shape or that your body wasn't rested. You didn't even lose because of like you literally lost because you let your legs get so kicked because you were standing so heavy on that front leg. That's the only reason you lost. Like not the only reason, but that's why you lost, because your legs were effed up and you couldn't fight him.
After he lost that fight too, he said he's like, "No excuses. He got the better of me. He kicked the shit out of me."
And I honestly think he might be doing like making the excuses because it makes the fans more interested. But I could be wrong though.
No, it does.
Because if he's like in the interview, he's just like, "Yeah, I got my ass kicked, but this time I'm gonna win." It's like no one wants to hear that. It's not interesting.
You know, they put the pay-per-view numbers out after big fights. I wouldn't be surprised if this one is not that. It's going to be huge, but I don't think it'll be that big.
Dana's said multiple times that it's the most pre-buys they've ever had.
Yeah.
So that's the most people have bought it before the day, than ever before. Okay. So it's trending to be the biggest fight ever, but that doesn't mean it will be. But it's just trending to be.
I mean, people want to see him come back. I think maybe I'm talking like casual McGregor fan people. Maybe they will tune in just to be like, is he done? Like, is he finished?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like Silva a little bit. Like, people will still watch his fights because he's Conor. Like, if he loses 5 more fights in a row, people will still watch his fights.
Oh yeah, McGregor fight coming up.
Yeah. But obviously, like, no one will really care. But let's say he wins like 1, loses 1. You know that like Silva hadn't won a fight in like 5 years or something. He's lost like 8 in a row or something like that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, what do you think about this? We haven't mentioned this. If McGregor loses, say McGregor gets knocked out.
Yeah.
He's got to retire. He straight up has to retire.
Oh, he's not going to retire.
What?
You think he'll retire? No.
McGregor, yeah.
I don't think he will.
He's only fighting because he wants to. Respect for that. But who's he gonna fight? He's not getting them. I mean, he'll get another money fight, but he'll become, if anything, he'll become like a Nate Diaz.
He's gonna do the Nate Diaz trilogy if he loses this fight.
Yeah.
100%.
And what if he loses that?
Oh, then I don't know if he'll fight still.
He's so close to retire. I really do think so.
Oh, I agree. No, I agree.
They'll do that fight because that will maybe be the biggest fight in history. Nate Diaz is so goddamn funny.
Well, also, they're both coming off a loss, so it's like redemption for both of them. And it's another trilogy. Yeah.
So, and I would be hyped for that, honestly.
Oh, that'd be sick.
But
well, I mean, I like, for example, I don't see Conor even getting close to beating Charles Oliveira.
No. Oh, like, well, here's what I'm saying. I think maybe not retire, but if he loses, he's officially a clown. Like, he's already a clown. He goes from like nice to like weird, crazy. Like, how are you gonna be getting knocked out twice, choked out? You know what I mean? And then go to your next super fight and be like, I'm the Irish fucking. I'll knock your head off. Like, no, you won't. You got knocked out twice.
You haven't won since Obama.
You haven't won since that'll be the new line. That'll be like, you haven't won since Obama.
But it's funny because he beat
what they were saying. I forget how they worded it.
He said you've won 1 fight since.
Yeah, you've won.
That's what he said. He's like, you've won 1 fight since Obama was president, and he's like, that's 1 more fight than you little rat. It's like, okay, dude. All right, I think we should call it here.
Yeah.
Call the pod. Thanks for watching, everybody. Got Dunkel. Got the Warsteiner. 2 out of 10. Good brewski. And that's the sauce.
I'll never have another one, but it's good.